It was my musical awakening. As you know, I may have heard that I come from a jazz background and did a lot of playing around New York, and the discipline and the application that you have to do to be able to play. One of the reasons I played was not because of the money, but because of, I think, the image that I thought that I could bring to black youngsters. You see, we do what we can see that's possible for us to do.
William Oscar W.O. Smith was one of the great sidemen at jazz. His entire life was devoted to playing and teaching. W.O. grew up in Philadelphia in the 1920s and 30s. He played any instrument he could get his hands on because he just wanted to play music. But he rarely had a teacher. And one of his best friends at this time was one John Gillespie, later known as Dizzy Gillespie. This friendship would last a lifetime. W.O. started playing bass in jazz bands in the Philadelphia area. Incredibly, his first paying gig was with the legendary blues singer Bessie Smith. After honing his playing for a few years, he left Philadelphia in 1938 to study music at NYU. But his jazz education came from the New York club scene. This included playing and hanging with jazz luminaries such as Duke Ellington, Fats Waller, Nat King Cole, and Frankie Fairfax. In addition to the clubs, W.O. played sessions. That's him laying down the bass on Coleman Hawkins' seminal recording of Body and Soul. While World War II interrupted his education, W.O.'s military service meant playing and writing for an army band. After the war, he returned to NYU, where he received his bachelor's and master's in music education. Immediately, W.O. was recruited by 2 universities to put their marching bands together. After that, he enrolled in the University of Texas, but soon accepted a position in Nashville as an associate professor at Tennessee State University. Here, he led the master's program in music and played viola in the school string quartet. He also played jazz in Nashville's clubs, with musicians he said rivaled those in New York. Still not finished with education, W.O. enrolled in the University of Iowa for his Ph.D. Finally, with his studies complete, Dr. Smith returns to Nashville to teach at TSU in the mid-60s. But by now, R&B has taken over the airwaves and jazz is on the decline. But his playing days are not over, as he is asked to join the Nashville Symphony. This gig lasts 18 years. During this time, Dr. Smith puts into action a long, simmering idea for a music school for low-income children. Encouraged by friends and colleagues, Smith draws up a plan. And in October 1984, the W.O. Smith Community Music School opens on Edge Hill Avenue. Dr. Smith sees the school grow in enrollment and stature until on May 30th, 1991, Dr. W.O. Smith loses his battle with cancer. But his legacy continues.